I'm Van.
I'm Sori.
That's Lavi.
And Salty and Chip. This song is shout out to Sarah because she came on our show, one of the fireside chats, and she said some fucking really brave stuff on there. And so, I'm pretty sure you were like, it was amazing. You just tell us what you want and we're going to do it.
Yeah, she could have set up to half the kingdom by giving it to her.
Yep. And here it is. This is what she wanted. Faith No More, The Real Thing.
Shout out to the big homie, Sarah. Fashal. And that shit happened like 2 months ago.
I know. And she's been so patient,
people are so
too.
patient.
I know.
I think they understand, like, the thing is just blowing up at rates that are really hard. It's no excuse to us. No excuse at all. Like, we said we're going to do it. We should have came through a lot earlier than this.
I agree.
But she had every right to be like, you guys are a bunch of jerks and you suck as human beings. And all that. We still would have been your friends. We'd have been like, well, shit.
She's right.
Yeah. But she didn't do that.
No. She was super patient.
I learned a lot from these people. Maybe I should be patient with other people in my life.
No, I think you have been patient with that person.
I was very patient with that individual. I brought down the hammer!
Yeah, it's time.
The hammer of justice! All right.
Different.
Huh?
I said it's just different.
Hammer of justice crushes you!
Oh my gosh. Okay, ready?
Let's underachieve. All right. Let's do it.
I always want to touch the camera instead of hitting the play button.
Okay, just please hit the play button. Thank
you.
Okay. Shit, who is this? Faith No More?
Yes.
Faith No More, y'all.
We already said
The real
it.
thing. Okay.
It's interesting.
Tribal.
The
Was this about drugs?
I feel it could be about drugs. It seems like it's like about the like holding on to something real and how quickly that slips away, whether it's a high or anything like that.
It seemed to me that it was a high.
Because at the very end, when it talks about like the echoes of your childhood laughter,
yeah,
like the first time love urged you to take its guidance, like the heartbeat when you realize that you're dying. So it's like those moments when you have like a real authentic moment, but they're fleeting. The real thing is something that's fleeting, and most of the time, like, you can't hold on to those feelings.
Yeah.
So whether it be a high, whether it be your childhood, whether it be the first time you really felt love, you're dying, like,
Jesus.
yeah, people say like they never feel as alive as when their lives are in danger.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I bet.
For sure.
I bet.
So yeah, that to me seemed to be the theme of the that song. Although the real thing is also the name of the record, the album.
Yeah.
These guys are. I can see a lot of new metal. How they influence new metal a lot. This band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the bass wise, I feel like I hear some Korn in there. The drum part, some Rage Against the Machine. There's that like, I think it's Bulls on Parade. There's like a drum little section that sounds very, very similar to this.
Wait, please don't scroll.
And then Mudvayne too, vocally. Like this seems to be like one of those like a proto nu metal band. Like when nu metal like came out, these guys seem to be like one of the influential ones. And he's got like 5 vocal styles on this song.
Yeah, I didn't hear all of those band similarities and stuff. I didn't hear any of that. I thought it was like something that sounded different than the other stuff. It was kind of unique.
Well, it is unique, and I don't think that any one of those bands is able to like clump all that together like this band did. That's for sure. Okay, so
I think it's drugs.
Okay, go for it.
Well, just because he's, it says, you feel like you're too close, you swallow another dose. So there was like that part. Then there was another part where it talks about, it talked about like the arm. Where is it?
You mean the veins?
No, it talked about the arm, and like it says basically like you look and you realize where it's coming from or something like that.
All right, let's check.
Hold on a little longer. We can just go over the lyrics starting from the top, and I'm sure that we'll come to it.
Well,
just look up the word arm.
I'm not saying that it's all of heaven is in your arms.
Yeah, you know the reason why. It's right there all by itself. And what you are, there is nothing else. Like that seems to be how, when people have explained their experiences, that's all of heaven is in their arms. Seems like they were shooting up.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
that it's not that. You're saying it's more than that.
It's not only that. It seems to be. It seems like it's recounting all these times when you have a split second of happiness that keeps leaving.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my hypothesis on the song is that, you drink up the sky, like that being a drunk, being an alcoholic, like, see what I'm saying? All of heaven is in your arms, you know the reason why. Go ahead.
Yeah, the split second of divinity, you drink up the sky. To me, that just sounds like that time, like when they're high and they're like just taking it all in, like you could drink up the sky. You're just like, ooh, everything's just, And even the ending of the song kind of reminded me of that. I don't remember which song it was, but that other one where I was like, you heard the like calm in the middle of the song, and this one when it ended, at the end it like kind of it was like going out, and then all of a sudden like chaos sounding started again. But that again could go to your theory of there are moments that are, very, very special moments, and then those moments leave, and then you return to the world.
Well, I know the feeling, it's a real thing, the essence of the truth, the perfect moment. I know the feeling, it's a real thing.
So for someone, it's a drug.
Yeah, for someone it's a drug.
For someone, it's a childhood memory.
A childhood memory.
Yeah. But yeah, that's true.
it just, like in this world, they never stay there. It's always the momentary, like the perfect moment or the golden moment.
Which is true.
I remember one time sitting in a restaurant, like years ago, with, it's like 4 or 5 people. And we had just got back from a movie, and then we went to a restaurant to go eat. And I remember looking at everybody, and I felt so happy and at peace.
Really?
I was just so, it was actually one of the happiest moments in my entire life. And it was weird because there's nothing special about it. It was like, we always go to the movies, and you know, I'm pretty sure it was on a Saturday. But it was, our friend Robin and his buddy Paul, and then Bryce and Kenan. I still remember their names. But it was just a really, really fun time, and the atmosphere was like perfect, and we were talking about everything from the movie to, those guys were talking about Zeppelin. I didn't know anything about Zeppelin at the time. To like whether you should go to church on Saturday or Sunday. To, I mean, it was just a really cool moment. And like I remember thinking to myself, like, this is not gonna last, or it was like, just enjoy this moment because you're never gonna have this again, type of thing. So it was true. Never had a moment like that again, but with those people, you know, you just create new moments with different people. But yeah, it's very interesting, that aspect of life, because there's a lot. We're talking about that, like going to the first Korn show that I went. Korn was my first rock show, period, and like all the anticipation that was building up to actually going to see Korn, and then it's gone, like, and that crash afterward was terrible. Good Lord. But it seems to me it's about like that one moment when everything is real and great, and you have that moment of ecstasy and it's good, and then it just, you pray that you'll never let it slip away, but it always does.
Yeah. Then it just becomes a memory.
The essence of the truth, the perfect moment.
Memories are funny too, because they can either comfort or haunt you, you know?
Yeah. It's true. Or do that simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the pattern below the skin. You gotta reach out and put it all in.
And pull it all in.
And you feel like you're too close, so you swallow another dose. The pinnacle of happiness filling your soul. You don't think you can take any more. You never want to let go. To touch the roots of experience, the most basic ingredients. To see the unseen glitter of life and feel the dirt, grief, and anger and strife. Cherish the certainty of now.
Oh, I like that line.
It kills you a bit at a time. Cradle the inspiration. It will leave you writhing on the floor.
Well, see, and maybe they're, you know, again, it seems like they're like using the explanation of like a drug. It, like, that moment is so high and so perfect, but it's going to leave you writhing on the floor. Like, you know, I don't know. It fills up your soul at one point, and then in the next moment, it's what makes pain more painful, in a sense. So you can have those very, very happy moments, but sometimes those become the source of your pain when things are bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Cherish the certainty of now. That's true. Because it's like, there's no guarantee that you're going to feel that good feeling in 5 seconds from now.
Right.
But if you worry about what's going to happen 5 seconds from now, you guarantee that you will lose it now.
Yeah, that's true.
So just the only thing is certain is now. So
yep. I'm like an overthinker. Like, no, I'm like, fuck, now I have that in my head. So like the next moment's like, happy moments with you are like, I feel like my head could friggin' explode. Like, when I'm mad at you, I'm the most mad I've probably ever been at anyone in my life. And when I'm happy with you, I'm like, this is the most happy I've ever been. And then, like, you know, like, you have those times where you're like, you always love the person that you love, but then you have, like, those moments that are like, well, this is like a fucking movie. Like, it's like those moments. So I'm like, oh no, the next time I have one of those moments, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna end.
Fuck you, Sarah.
And then I'll get all sad. You'll be like, what's wrong? I'll be like, nothing. It's just this moment's gonna end.
It's ended.
It's done.
The ecstasy you can pray, you never let it slip away. Yeah, and I wonder why moments are like that. Like you get these, and then I think about like Adam and Eve and be like, what if their entire existence before everything got fucked up was
just ecstasy?
Yeah, it's just that the whole time. Can you
want to
imagine?
talk about depression?
God almighty.
When they got out of the garden, if that was the case, when they got out of the garden, can you imagine what that felt like?
Yikes.
To not have that high all the time?
Yikes.
You know what's funny? So I'm reading that book, The Shack. I'm skipping some of the parts, with the kids, but most of it I'm reading to them. Anyway, so there's like, he like meets this God character, and like when he's talking to the God character, like the God character is super confident about everything. And then, but he's God, you know what I mean?
Right.
Everything is like, he just is satisfied with everything. He's like baking a pie, and he's like so satisfied with the pie and he basically was saying like, for God's entire existence, he's been satisfied because he like, there's pleasure within himself because there's the Trinity and stuff like that. Well, anyway, I was thinking about, because like our oldest daughter, she's like, it doesn't matter what she does. She's like so overly she's just confident like all the time. And sometimes it annoys me because sometimes I'm like, my word, like, do you feel you have any flaws? I mean, like, or are you just floating above the rest of us on planet Earth, So, but I was like,
no, she's with me.
So I was like, when I hit that part of the book, I was like, oh, so like that aspect of her personality, she is flawed. So, I mean, like she obviously has an irrational view of herself because she doesn't see her flaws.
Maybe she was raised to be confident.
But like, I was like, oh, like that's supposed to remind me of how God is, in the sense of that, God is not flawed and he's fully confident of what he's doing. He doesn't second guess himself and stuff like that. And so I was like, just cool to see like, oh yeah, there's other things like we can see in the kids that is meant to show us something about God. And I'm not even sure how that, I didn't know what we were just talking about, but came to my head. So I just,
I appreciate it.
So anyway.
Yeah. The ecstasy you can pray you'll never let. I mean, there is a drug called ecstasy.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Well, yeah. How do you take that drug? Do you know?
I'm not gonna do drug tutorials on our channel.
Well, no. I'm just like, is it something that you shoot up because we were talking about the arm, or is it? But then it also said take another dose. I mean, I didn't expect you to do a drug tutorial, you weirdo. We're just talking about a song.
We would go to these nightclubs in Manhattan, these raves or whatever.
I know, that's what you told me.
All these secret codes to get in.
A lot of times when he says we, it doesn't mean we. It means him and his friends and him and his ex-wife.
Sori was.
I was in
Bible
college.
Bible college and all that.
When the we was doing all those things.
Yeah, you see some crazy shit, but yeah, there's always ecstasy on the table all the time. Crazy stuff. People doing crazy stuff. I made sure that certain members of my crew weren't taking any of that shit, though.
Oh my word.
Those are some interesting stories for us all.
Oh my gosh, that would make me panic.
Everybody has like
I'm too much of a control freak.
Like ways of like trying to hold on to that, like that high, that ecstasy that you have, or But I feel like it's better to go ahead.
Sometimes you're so busy trying to get back to an old ecstasy moment,
right,
that you create a hell in the moment that you're in.
I agree.
But you could have just had ecstasy there.
Like people don't realize like there's new ones for you to have.
Right.
The old ones are gone.
But if you're too busy trying to, live with that ghost, then.
Yeah, I think you just, it's like you just have to assume that you're never going to have that moment like that ever again. Like, I'm never going to have that.
I literally could cry just hearing you say that.
Yeah.
I don't like that sentence.
But the other side of it is there is a ton of future ecstasy that is waiting for you.
Yes, you've always had you've always not had a problem moving forward.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of awesome future shit coming.
Yeah, I know.
That you will actually miss by trying to go back to that never replicated, moment in the past, because it's only, it's a very, very short time period. Like I'll never, like that first Korn show, like that's never gonna happen again. I'm never gonna be like the first time hearing a Korn show ever again. Like, it's never gonna happen again. You know, like...
They're still playing, right?
Huh?
They're still playing, right? So you'll have a first time with Sori.
Well, I've seen... Yeah. Yeah, but I love
But it's not the
But
verse.
it's not the same. It's not the same in any way, shape, or form. But I've had a lot of those cool moments with you. Like, remember that? Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. But there's been a lot of like really perfect moments with you where I'm like, and you know, and I'm glad. I'm happy to just leave it. And they're literally, some of those moments are like literally impossible to replicate. Like, because the circumstances were different, and I was a different person. My neurons were arranged differently.
Right.
That's to the
Shout out.
Shout to the true cult. They know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Shout out to the Kendies.
So yeah, I mean they're never gonna be the same. But I'm optimistic in that there's gonna be so many different ones. You know, maybe the Nightwish concert with Poland. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things where like the future has all that in store. You know, so. That's why I'm happy to like leave those things behind, and it doesn't mean I never look back at them. You know, you look back at them and you like, man, that was a good moment. And I just think to myself, all right, well, what's next? You know. So, of course, like the way you cry for a happy ending. Of course, like I said, we've got a very, very convenient view of the world.
Oh yeah.
Because our view of the world is that, you know, in the new world that's coming, like, those are just gonna happen. The only reason those perfect moments are gonna slip away is to give way to other perfect moments, and they're gonna be stacked right on top of each other forever. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I fully am completely bought into that 100 trillion% for sure. That's gonna be reality for us forever in ever increasing, you know, measures. So it's like that's what we're looking forward to. That's another reason why I'm okay with letting those go and like be in the past and moving forward, because I just feel like they're going to be bigger happinesses for us to experience, you know, in this life and then in the new world for sure. But it looks like the concept depresses you.
Yes.
What does?
It's hard to let go of, I guess, the past. Yeah. Don't keep talking about it, I'll cry.
Why? Like, why is it so hard to let go of the past?
I guess because if there was joys in the past, like, I don't know why.
Were you afraid you're never going to get back?
Well, some you can't. I mean, you can't go to the corn show again for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't, you know, or if there's, you know, people in your past that are no longer there, you can't. Not in this life. You're not going to have those moments again. You can't even create new moments with them. You know? I don't know. It's just sad.
Well, there's probably something wrong with me then.
Yeah, I don't understand how but I don't know if it has to do with you moving around all the time, growing up, like in your formative years, like always moving around. I wanted to move. I was like hoping my parents would move.
Yeah?
There must be something wrong with me though, because I used to sometimes wish my parents would get divorced so I could, you know, experience new parents and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to wish that, and I used to wish that we would move, or, you know, I don't know. I think maybe I was just bored.
Yeah,
With maybe there was just too much structure.
probably.
And maybe I just wanted some chaos. I don't know.
But I mean, the song would side with you. The guy wrote a whole song about like fleeting moments or whatever of realness. But yeah,
Just to be clear, I didn't always want them to get divorced. It was just sometimes.
Well, yeah, I know. So yeah, no, I'm probably, you know.
I don't know.
Most people can look back.
It's just hard. It's hard.
It's good to leave the past in the past, I guess.
Yeah, but do you ever well, you think the story of, is it Holden?
Holden Caulfield.
Holden Caulfield? Yeah, when you talk about that story, which we did a review on that book, of partial, like the first half of that review.
That book, The Catcher in the Rye, man. Continue.
Anyway, if you want to see it, check that out. But anyway, when you talk about that, it's interesting because I don't hear you saying like you like miss your childhood, but I think through him you miss childhood because you have this I don't want to say obsession, but this fascination or this I don't know what to call it, but like it troubles you, like seeing like, you know, our oldest, like the, you know, him, like I don't know, like there's something about it, like with the whole childhood and moving away from the innocence as a child and stuff. Maybe you felt like you didn't have the innocence as a child. Maybe you felt like it got robbed from you because you saw some pretty traumatic stuff at a very young age. So I don't know. And even right now, is it bothering you? What are you thinking?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what you're talking about.
I'm just saying that like maybe that's part of why you don't have those feelings, but then I see you like having this like strange relationship with that book, like with that character and his like growing up and like the separation of like losing your innocence and coming to adulthood, and like he, you know, the kid wanted to ride on that thing, but he realized he was too old to do it, and so he rode on it through his sister. And
she didn't want to ride on the thing. She said she was too old.
But he wanted her to ride on it.
He wanted her to ride on it.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I don't know if like, do you feel like you didn't have a childhood? Do you feel like you had to grow up too fast?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's never been like a conscious moment where there wasn't some really crazy chaotic shit happening.
So just like normal childhood.
I still got to, you know, ride bikes and run around in the woods and fall into the pond and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I still did a bunch of childish things. I don't miss any times. That's the thing. It's like, that was that. Now I'm here, and I'm going to be making
understand that.
Time in the future.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
You know what I mean? So it's like... But I'm like watching you, and I'm like, well, it was important enough to this guy to write a whole song about it. So maybe something's wrong. Maybe something's wrong with me.
I think
but
yes.
It's like,
I hate saying that there's. I think there is, but I think
like,
that's something.
It's like it's not. It's like I've made peace with the fact that those times are those times. Like that's, you know. I'm never gonna be on a baseball team.
Like here, you made peace with it. How do you make peace with that in your heart?
No, I think I made peace with my heart before my mind.
What?
Well, it's just
my heart and my mind are at conflict about it, and that's what makes me cry.
I'm never gonna play baseball with Tristan and Floyd again. That's a fact. They're dead. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't go back to those places.
Yeah. So like, I had it when I had it. We had that summer, and I'd say, oh, that was the best summer of my life. I was playing baseball all day. You know, and then breaking up fights with Floyd, like. That was the best summer of my life, but that was over. And then I had a really other good summer in the Bronx. You know, nobody was trying to kill us. We were listening to music. It was great. We were going to shows all summer. Okay, so that was a good summer. But like, you know, we had a really, really good summer a couple years ago. Like, I think it would be like a disaster to try to replicate that. Like now.
Oh, I think I always want to.
It's impossible.
I know, it's completely impossible.
But that doesn't mean, like, I feel like we're going to have better summers in the future. You know, like, we're going to have better moments. I think those time periods just come to you, and, like, you enjoy it when you have it.
I feel like the times that you had, like, awesome, like, happy moments or something, it's because those moments were simple. Like, I feel like the complexity of stuff sucks away the enjoyment of it.
I don't think there's any science to it. I think, you know, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. It's just like waves.
If we can figure it out, then we can make it happen again.
You always want to control stuff. I don't think any of those moments were within our control, and I actually think the desire to control that is what leads people into all their various addictions.
What?
Yeah, like,
I thought you were going to say that it wrecks those moments. So tell me, what do you mean?
Why is a person a heroin addict? I mean, among other issues.
I think that they're just trying to escape.
Sure, but they're trying to control ecstasy. Because it's like, if I buy this drug and shoot it up in my vein, I am guaranteed a certain ecstatic feeling. So it's like, You know, same thing with
Yeah.
people with their sex addiction or whatever addiction you have. It's like you're trying to like put that lightning in a bottle and like control it and say, if this happens, I will hit this level of ecstasy, instead of just saying, you know what, that's not up to me. And you just live your life. Most of life is like, you know, just live a certain way and then boom, it'll happen to you.
Oh, well.
But like the minute that you try to grasp it and control it, then it destroys you.
Well, that's difficult for somebody who's controlling.
You just gotta live with an open hand.
Yes, I know. You've told me that.
You know, it's
you
like,
try to squeeze it, then you can't hold any water.
well, you know, God puts it in and God takes it away. I mean, that's a principle. The Lord gives, the Lord takes away.
I know.
And like the minute you try to hold on to something that God's gonna take away from you, then you know, those moments are gone. So you try to hold on to something, you know, you break your fingers.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done.
You're
I
not
think.
stronger than time. Time will break your fingers. You try to hold on to shit that's already passed. That's just how I look at it.
That was a wild visual.
And if you say, oh, I can find a way to, you know, I can control time and be happy and go back to those moments or create those moments on purpose, that's when you run into, in my opinion, addictions and all this other shit.
Wow. Maybe you're right.
Or like
gosh.
permanent adolescence, people trying to constantly relive their childhood. Like Michael Jackson. No disrespect to the big homie, but like, you know, he called his Neverland Ranch and all this shit because he wouldn't accept that had gone. So it broke it. You know, so it's like, to me, it's like, my philosophy on these moments is like, you know, to live consciously in every moment. You know, we talk about it, like
Yeah.
being conscious in every moment.
Yeah.
And enjoying it and knowing it for what it is. And being like, okay, like, I'm in it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like last week, when we had to keep going back and forth to the Apple store and all that shit, and then the people that we were talking to and all that.
I had fun, yeah.
It was one of those moments. It was one of those moments for me where I was like, this is perfect. It's just you there, we were talking, and then, you know, we were, you know, having fun with people. We saw that miserable woman. We should have taken
Oh my
that
word!
shit.
You know what though? We need to put out a video where we tell that story. People get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
It's just too long.
I wish we would have been able to like
Record
undercover,
it.
like
I seriously,
record that whole.
I'm telling you, I gotta get the videos and pictures off my phone so I have space to be able to catch fun stuff because I see a lot of stuff. That guy thought it was terrible that we were like, we should have recorded it.
I know.
He's like, no.
No. Well, definitely not good press for his company, that's for sure.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, like, it was one of those moments. Like, you know, if we have to go back to the Apple store, it's not going to be like that. Like, last week was just like, that was last week. And I enjoyed it. I had so much fun, you know? And it's like, okay, that's gone. We're going to have other ones. You know, to me, it's just a matter of, like, recognizing them when they're happening. That's the only thing. So I recognized it. I felt it. And that's why I said later, like, oh, this was fun and yada, yada, yada. Because it's like, it was happening, you know? So. And part of me is like, wonder if, like, you know, perspectives on things determine how much of that stuff you get to recognize. Because we could have sat there and been like, oh, and been upset. We have to go. It's such an inconvenience.
We had to wait for so long, so many hours.
So long, and we
there
had to
was
wait for so many hours.
So many people that were passing us to other people that were, you could have been,
Yeah. But, you know, so sometimes, like, those moments are there for you. Like, maybe God gives us a lot more of those moments, but we're too busy complaining to...
No, you're probably right.
To recognize them for what they are and actually enjoy them and have that fun, you know?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I can give that to you.
I guess the moral of the story is just live with an open hand, you know? Like, as it says, you clench
Stop
your fist...
being miserable.
Clench your fist and close your eyes.
Yep.
You know, like, trying desperately to hold on to that stuff. Like, just let it go, man.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what that line is. Just clench your fist and close your eyes. Don't they do that when they're shooting up? I've seen them on movies.
Yes, but
Then it says, look deep inside, hypnotize. The whisper is but a shout. That's what it's all about. Yes, the ecstasy. You can pray.
Yeah, but again, like, it functions as a double because you have to do this to get it in your vein. But this very action is you trying to control your own ecstasy.
You're really smart. You know that?
But, you know.
I'm sure you do.
You just, I've got an ego the size of Axl Rose. Yeah, just live with an open hand, man. You know, so stuff drops out and stuff goes back in. It's that simple.
There you have it.
There you are. All right. What do you got? What do you give the song?
Oh, 8.
It's probably an 8.9 for me. I liked all the vocal styles, and people have been telling me to listen to Faith No More for quite some time, but there just hasn't been a lot of like press for it. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm glad that I got to, because I definitely see where Korn and Mudvayne and all these bands got inspiration from, even on just this one song, or Rage Against the Machine. Like, this guy Mike Patton, I guess, is a genius. So
the release date on this was 1989.
Yeah,
To me, it didn't sound like
well before Korn and all those bands. Like when So very interesting. I've never given an 8.9 before. So there you are, Faith No More. Or if I have, Kai will let me know the difference. What do you give it?
Oh, well, I was going between an 8 and an 8.5, but 8.3.
Any day now. Okay. Vin
Shout
out.
out to Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.
Sell your soul, till the light, whoa, do your thing.